this week on Top of the Stack. Welcome to Top of the Stack. I'm Cory for Geek'd, and this segment's all about what I read and what I find the best this week in comics. Usually I'll be from anywhere from 1 to maybe 4 issues, and sometimes have some honorable mentions thrown in there. So let's get started with Top of the Stack. First up this week, we got Star Wars number 5. This one is written by Jason Aaron and art by John Cassidy. This one starts off exactly where we left off, with Luke Skywalker going to Tatooine to kind of get some answers on the Force and what it means to be a Jedi. But unbeknownst to him, Darth Vader has the same plans. He hires Boba Fett to go and try to find this mysterious Jedi who's causing him so much problems, destroying the Death Star and everything. And if you have ever watched the movies and thought to yourself, yeah, this Boba Fett guy, he's pretty cool. You know, I bet he does some really kick-ass things, but you always have to imagine these things. Well, this is the issue you need to pick up. He is the ultimate badass. He destroys whatever gets in his way. He even destroys things that help him out, as you could see in one portion of this that I don't want to give away. But he does get Skywalker's name, and he is going after him. So if you're a Boba Fett fan, you definitely got to check this out. Also, we get to see Han and Leia doing their whole, having this little tiff like they always do in the movies. And that's what's really good about this comic and this issue in general, is it really has a vibe just like the movie does. You feel like you know these characters. They're acting like they did on screen. In this one, they're having this little fight, this almost meaningless fight. Han wants to leave. He wants his ship fixed, but she needs help, so she's going to use him to get what she wants and then give him what he wants. So she makes him be his co-pilot. They go off, and they get intercepted by TIE fighters, and Leia thinks she has it under control, but Han, you know, he has his own agenda, so he gets them in a mess. The TIE fighters come after him. They're attacking him. They end up going to this planet who has terrible climate to escape, and that's where we're left off with them. We do see a mysterious figure. Not sure who it is, but I know most likely in issue number 6 we're going to see where that goes. So you want to stick around for that. We also get to see Luke Skywalker finally make it to Obi-Wan Kenobi's house. But as he's there, he gets attacked by sand people. He fends himself off. They run away. He finally makes it in. It looks like the place has been ransacked. All of a sudden, big explosion. And guess who it is? The badass of the entire issue, Boba Fett, doing his job, finding Skywalker. So we got to see the next issue. This issue, on our scale of best Batmans of all time, I'm going to have to give this one a Christian Bale. It's not so much a Ben Affleck, and it's not a Michael Keaton either. This is definitely a Christian Bale. It could have been a notch up. You know, it's hard to get that Ben Affleck status, so it's definitely getting Christian Bale. Check it out. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're probably already reading this, so I don't have to tell you, but the art, you know, it just takes you back to the movies. It's something you definitely want to pick up. So I give it a Christian Bale. Next up, we got The Tithe number 2 by Matt Hawkins. Drawn by Rasan Ekadal, and this issue we find the FBI agents Dwayne Campbell and James Howard, just picking up again right where they left off. Sees them coming up on a house. They break in. It's like a meth lab. They're looking for Samaritans to see, to capture these people to get them to stop robbing these churches. What they do find is a meth addict, shoots one of the officers, but they don't find any inkling, any trace of any Samaritans. So we flash up, we see the Samaritans hideout. Sam, the main Samaritan, is intercepting this call by the FBI agent Dwayne Campbell, talking to his wife. We know that they're looking to find one of the 2 places they're going to get next, whether it's Phoenix, Arizona, or if they're going to be hitting up Henderson, Nevada. They got to choose. So these 2 officers, they split up, go to separate locations. One of them is a church that seems pretty good. They're just preaching, doing their thing. The other one, on the other hand, is preaching about, give your money. If you want your prayers answered, you need to give money to God. It seems like that in Phoenix, Arizona is the one that is going to be the next one. This just seems like an evil man, you know, running a scheme to make money. But we're still not sure. You know, also to set it up to make it even worse is James Howard gets kicked out of that church because they don't want him on his property. So it's really suspicious. You know, we also get to see these Samaritans more as human beings and characters. You know, the main one talking about how she's here to change the world. Her friend and guy who really likes her wants to be in a relationship, but she just says she doesn't have time because she's trying to change the world. So we don't really know her real motives. I'm sure we're going to see it down the line, but right now it's giving you a little inkling of, you know, what these people are really about, which will come in more later on. But back to the heist story. We got now that they're kicked out of Phoenix, we see this casket being brought into Henderson, Nevada. 2 of them. They put them in. We see these men with the Jesus masks on, ready to rob. Corpses still in these caskets. They get in there, they rob, they get everything they need, and they're out. No trace found. Nobody suspects them. And that's it. So, I mean, it's really a good setup of the characterization of these individuals in this issue. And we get to see a cool heist. We get to see kind of the motives. Why did they rob the one that didn't seem so wrong when the one that seemed wrong they didn't rob? Is this one going to be the one that's going to be a huge heist in the next issue? I don't know. We're going to have to stick around and see. But I really like this one. I'm really liking the series. I'm definitely picking up the next one. This one is going to get a Michael Keaton. Definitely a read. Definitely a buy. I don't see it going stale anytime soon, so hopefully it just keeps getting more and more and more and more and more until we find out what these Samaritans are all about. So that's my number 2. On to see what's up for number 3. Top of the stack, number 1 pick this week is Wytches number 6 by Scott Snyder, drawn by Jock. Just this one, you know, this is the end of an arc, and this just blew my mind. It took this story that was really good to begin with. We have Sailor and her dad caught inside the witch's den, trying to get out, using all these tools and tricks to do what they can to escape. They finally escape. They get home. People start attacking them. The mom is, you know, trying to calm them down, and there's a huge twist in this one. I mean, I almost don't want to say anything, and I'm probably going to leave it at that. You just have to read this one. You can't explain much without really giving it away. All I can say is you learn everything about this family, why this is happening to them, why the father is the way he is, why the daughter is the way they are, why the mom's in a wheelchair. Just everything. You learn everything in this issue. This was a great issue. If you like horror, if you like suspense, this is the book for you. Wytches number 6, my pick of the week. This is getting a Christian Bale. Still not a Ben Affleck, because I have this issue with these blotches that are all over the art. I feel like the art would be so much better and legible and understandable without that happening. I mean, I really like the art and what I see, but I'm really thrown off by those blotches. If I was doing this on story alone, Ben Affleck all the way, just a perfect bow on this arc. Really has me ready for the next one to see where this can go from here. So pick this up for sure. Don't miss this. If you're reading this, you definitely don't want to miss this. If you're into paranormal, witches, horror at all, go pick up the trade paperback. You won't regret it. That is it for my top of the stack. However, I do want to give 2 honorable mentions to 2 books I read this week. So let's go on to the honorable mention segment. My 2 honorable mentions this week are The Fade Out, number 6, and Ghosted, number 20. I know in the weekly poll, I said a lot of harsh things about this. I wasn't interested. I'm losing interest. This one gets a pass this week. It gets a read. If you're reading this series and you kind of fell off a few issues ago, to maybe go back, because this is the end. This is it. There's no more Ghosted. I didn't know this. I read this. I found it out. And it's a kind of a good way to wrap it up. So if you were invested in, you fell off a few issues ago, I would recommend just finishing this series out. You get a few answers. So that's why this is an honorable mention. And then Fade Out is an honorable mention because it's always on the top of my stack. You know, I don't want to do this every month that it comes out. And Wytches and Star Wars were just exceptional this week, so I had to put them on there. And Tithe is really shaping up to be something good. So I just wanted to give an honorable mention to the Fade Out. If you're into noir, you're into crime drama and mystery thriller with incredible art with great coloring, you don't want to miss this. This is a great book, so pick this one up as well. Well, that's it. I'm Cory for Geek'd Up. Thanks for watching Top of the Stack. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. What did you read? What do you want to read? What do you want me to read? What do you want me to review? Just let me know in the comments, and I will answer each and every one of you. Also, make sure you watch some of our other videos, like the Mad Max Wrap and the Geek'd Up podcast, as well as my last weekly pull. So, that's it for now. Check back next week. Hi, hello, my name is Max. It's been 30 years, but bitch, I'm back in the wasteland to get a taste of home. Take a note that I do get my comics a week after they're released because I get all mine through subscriptions.